So in section 6.2C homework, there have been a handful of questions on number 1 and number 2. So what I'm going to do is actually talk about how do you approach number 1 and number 2. I'm going to actually change the sets though. They're using these sets A and B. I'm going to do a similar example. I'll show you with different numbers so then you can go back and apply to this one. So let's look at the sets as being this. So we're going to use these sets where A is the numbers 1 and 4, B are the numbers 2, 4, and 6. Now for each problem it says consider rolling a fair die. So a fair die would be a 6-sided die. So we know if we're just rolling one die and we're computing probabilities, that's the P, we know that we're going to have our answers be something out of 6. So we know the bottom of the fraction already. We know the whole. We need to find the part. So let's break this down further. I'm going to look at this first example here, and you have to remember this set notation. This right here is the notation for the word union. So it's the union. Another word for that would be an or probability. So when you see that word, it's the union or probability, and we know when we see the or probability, we're going to come in and add. So our brain is thinking about addition. So what I want to do here is I'm going to kind of rewrite this, and I'm going to put set A right there, just put it underneath it, and then I'll put set B here and put this underneath it. Again, I'm using different numbers from the actual problem. Now they want to know what is the probability of A or B. So probability of A or B means I want to take A and I want to add to it the B. Now when you add sets, you're really just combining everything together. So if you combine everything together and you write what the new set looks like, you're going to get something like this. You know, the new set's going to be a combination of 1, 2, 4, and 6. Okay. So that's the way to look at it as a set notation. Now another thing I could do is actually write it like a Venn diagram. So a Venn diagram, if you want to see that as an or probability, I'll put A and B here. Now A is the numbers 1 and 4, B are the numbers 2, 4, and 6. Now on this Venn diagram, be careful. Remember, we have this intersection point. What do A and B have in common? Well, clearly I can see they have the number 4 in common, so I need to remove it from out here and put that number 4 within its intersection point. And that's where that intersects. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and answer the question. This one here wants the probability of A or B. So A or B means add them together, give me the union, combine it. If you combine A or B, you're going to get all of these numbers. Well, how many is that of the 6-sided die? It is 4 different outcomes. Therefore, the probability for this would be 4 out of 6, which could simplify to 2/3. That would be for 1 using my numbers. Now, if we look at number 2, look at this notation. This is set notation. This set notation is for intersection, so that means where do they intersect? Now, in number theory, that intersection is also the word and. So they need to have what's in A and in B. So if you go back and you look here, what's in A and both in B? Well, you can see it here in the red part. You're going to notice that we have the 4 and the 4. So they have one element in common. Well, if you look at the Venn diagram I drew, we can see that they have the one element in common, which is the 4. So there's only one element in common, so I'm going to write here it's 1 out of 6, and that would be its probability. Hopefully this is helpful on how to approach these two problems.